It took 7 families 2 years, but a team of homeowners in Scotland has undertaken on a habitation gigantic in procedure to include their crumbled brand new build homes restored. It's portion of a more extensive, UK-wide question, the is their history. Sheila Chalmers excited to her property in Pebbles in the Scotch national borders in her man 10 years back. Her 4-persons bed household was one of 250 constructed by software developer Taylor Wimpey on a new website. For 8 years, lifetime went on as regular. Later thing odd begun to occur. Night, families at the top end of the property begun to disappear. But down there were no for selling signs and not one new was driving in. It became nearly a phantom road, she says. Houses were blank. Human beings were vanishing. Sheila after heard how the properties had been purchased behind by Taylor Wimpey following problems were found. The owners had signed non-disclosure agreements so they could not say of. Taylor Wimpey affirmed it did buy behind a little quantity of homes to begin in. It after shipped a email to all the left residents, proverb how several houses did include a issue in the stupa keeping along their bricks. Sheila mind she did not include whatever to worry about on, but she went external and verified in any case. Patches of stupa were obviously erosion, she says, and in some places it could be cleared out in a nail. She pay for assessments by 2 various structure engineering personnel, who both have told the building necessary wide maintenance job, although Taylor Wimpey told its own inspections found how was not the instance. Stupa is done up of 2 key material, concrete and grit. The more than concrete in the mixture, the much stronger the stupa, although the more than fragile it can be. The household pay to include their lab tests on the stupa transferred out by a expert company. The results offered how down there was far more than grit in the mix rather than you would wait for a household in how region, though Taylor Wimpey says the kind of chemistry testing utilized was no relevant and the results could not be relied on. 3 doors downward of Sheila dwell Pete and Jill room in their 13-year-old child. Love Sheila, they at first scientific on the issue 2 years ago while Taylor Wimpey were purchased behind the person houses. They pay for their own tests, that showed just 1 in 8 samples of production undertaken of their household met production guidance, though once again Taylor Wimpey says the testing utilized was no relevant. On the parking garage the tests came behind show it was fair grit, told Pete. A live video shot by the household following a downpour obviously shows the stupa on the behind side declining out while a screwdriver was run softly on it. In the late 7 mandrel households became implicated, fleeting on detailed information to a broad society team on the property. The families treated along to construct their instance, profitable for their own structure surveys and with liberty of data laws to consumer demand domestic documents of the regional justice. They done hand signs and protested external the exhibition hall of else Taylor Wimpey property in the region. In 2017, they introduced their received information to Taylor Wimpey's lawyers, proverb how they would go social if their properties were not flat, demolished or purchased behind. They were amazed at the answer. The family's solicitors acquired a email behind proverb they had solved not to paper the team to the authorities by the revenue of criminality law. It was charging us of bribe, efficaciously, told Pete. It took me on 10 protocol to halt amusing. But it was bullying, a risk. By later, Pete and Jill had employed their own engineering personnel to inspect the building. They suggested how the pair should halt with the parking garage since it was at hazard of crash, though Taylor Wimpey denies how down there was a structure issue. The pair purchased a gigantic navigation canister, coated it in precautionary stickers and leftward it on their front line grass. How, they tell, got Taylor Wimpey's focus and, 2 years downward the link, and treaty has now been achieved for their household to be flat. It waterfall brief of wherever we believe a complete maintenance should be, but they include told it's how or anything, so we include recognized it, Jill says. In December 2018, Taylor Wimpey shipped out letters proverb all 130 houses in the property constructed in the weaker stupa would now be proposed correction job. Properties are creature dealt in one at a period. Building crews are curatage out the old stupa and substitute it in a much stronger content. Taylor Wimpey told it, genuinely apologizes to all the homeowners struck, is completely devoted to allowing matters, and has a precise schedule in location to rectify struck homes. The is a localized question and waterfall brief of the top quality standards we maintain, it told. The company has now apologized to Sheila Orr, although its own inspections found a complete maintenance is not necessary, told job to substitute the stupa in her household will begin the summer. It will return several of the £16,000 she has consumable on legislative expenses and engineering accountable, largest of that she had to adopt. Maintenance job on Pete and Jill's characteristic, that may engage the drift of the parking garage, is due to begin in medium July. Both of families say the struggle has been period consuming, tense, and put them off always purchase a brand new build household once again. These developers, these companies, cannot be permitted to go on the destroying of human beings as lives in house-base homes, told Sheila. Someone has to stay up and show them how they cannot get off in it.